As Lucas Adams' Nico Taro dealt with the agonizing phases of mourning after a significant loss, Grey's Anatomy Season 22 produced a very moving episode. Katie, Samantha Marie Ware, a patient, passed away in the most recent episode of the medical drama. The plot struck a chord with viewers as one of Lucas's most intimate tragedies to date. After Katie's experimental therapy for gastric cancer was unexpectedly interrupted before it could be finished due to a lack of government funds, her health worsened. Lucas stayed by her side, giving her unwavering comfort and care during her last days. Additionally, Simone Griffith, Alexis Floyd, intervened and provided some much-needed assistance. In the depressing episode, Grey's Anatomy also examined the intimate bond between Lucas and Katie. The two hinted at their romantic feelings by imagining other versions of their lives together when they were left alone. When Simone momentarily delayed supplies for a drainage therapy that could lessen Katie's pain but worsen her condition, per Miranda Bailey's, Chunder Wilson, directives, the situation became even more strained. When we talk about emotional storytelling on television, few shows have mastered it like Grey's Anatomy. For over 2 decades has delivered unforgettable romances and even more unforgettable heartbreaks. But Season 22? This one hits differently. Because this time, the love story isn't just tragic. It's deeply personal, raw, and painfully real. And according to one of the stars themselves, it reflects something much deeper than what we see on screen. So today, we're breaking down the heartbreaking love story of Season 22, what the actors have revealed about it, and why fans are calling it one of the most emotional arcs in Grey's Anatomy history. At the center of Season 22 is a relationship that started quietly, almost gently. No chaos, no dramatic entrances. Just 2 people finding comfort in each other in the middle of the hospital's daily storm. This love story builds between 2 characters who are both emotionally worn down. People who have seen loss, trauma, and disappointment more times than they can count. And that's what makes it so powerful. It's not about passion at first sight. It's about healing. They become each other's safe space. Late-night conversations, shared silences, moments where no words are needed. And for a brief moment, it feels like Grey's Anatomy is giving us something rare, a love story that might actually survive. If you've watched the show long enough, you already know one thing. Happiness never lasts. What begins as a slow, beautiful connection quickly becomes complicated. Work pressure starts creeping in. Personal trauma resurfaces, and the cracks begin to show. But the real turning point? It's not a big betrayal, not a cheating scandal, not even a dramatic fight. It's something much more painful. Timing. Season 22 leans heavily into a theme Grey's Anatomy has explored before, but never quite like this. 2 people can love each other deeply and still not be able to make it work. One of them is finally ready to open up, to commit, to believe and love again. But the other, they're just beginning to fall apart. And that imbalance creates a heartbreaking tension throughout the season. Every moment they get closer, something pulls them apart. Every time they try to fix things, life gets in the way. And slowly you start to realize this isn't a love story about staying together. It's a love story about letting go. In a recent interview, one of the stars of the show opened up about this storyline, and their words completely changed how fans see it. They explained that this relationship wasn't written to be perfect. It was written to be real. According to them, the writers wanted to explore a type of love that people don't often talk about. The kind where you meet the right person but at the wrong time, and no matter how hard you try, it just doesn't work. The actor described it as the kind of love that stays with you even after it's over. And that's exactly what we see on screen. This isn't about dramatic breakups or explosive endings. It's about quiet heartbreak. Every great Grey's Anatomy love story has that moment. And Season 22 delivers one that fans won't forget anytime soon. It's not in an operating room. It's not during a crisis. It's in a simple, quiet conversation. 2 people sitting across from each other, realizing the truth they've been avoiding all along. They love each other, but they can't keep doing this. No yelling, no blaming, just honesty. And that's what makes it devastating. Because sometimes the hardest goodbye isn't the loudest one. It's the calmest. Grey's Anatomy has given us iconic romances before. Love that ends in tragedy, love that survives against all odds, love that defines entire seasons. But season 22's love story feels different because it's not about life or death. It's about emotional reality. It reflects something many people experience in real life, loving someone deeply, but knowing you can't stay. There's no villain here, no one to blame, just two people who couldn't make the timing work. Fans have been vocal about this storyline, and the reactions have been intense. Some are calling it one of the most realistic love stories Grey's has ever done. More painful than any death on the show, a reminder that not all love stories are meant to last. And honestly, they're not wrong, because this story doesn't rely on shock value. It relies on something much more powerful, emotional truth. What makes this storyline stand out isn't just the romance. It's what it says about life. Sometimes, love isn't enough timing matters, healing takes longer than we expect. And most importantly, letting go doesn't mean the love wasn't real. In fact, sometimes letting go is the strongest proof that it was. By the end of the season, the relationship reaches its inevitable conclusion. They don't end in anger. They don't destroy each other. Instead, they choose to walk away. And that choice, it's what makes the story so powerful. Because it shows growth, it shows maturity, and it shows that sometimes love isn't about holding on. It's about knowing when to stop. The final scenes leave us with a bittersweet feeling. They may not be together anymore, but what they had mattered, and it changed them forever. Season 22 of Grey's Anatomy reminds us why this show has lasted so long. It understands something many shows don't. The most painful stories aren't always the loudest ones. Sometimes they're quiet, subtle, and deeply human. This heartbreaking love story isn't about tragedy in the traditional sense. It's about something even more relatable, the love that could have been. If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more deep dives into your favorite shows. And tell me in the comments, do you think they should have stayed together? Or was walking away the right choice? Because in Grey's Anatomy, love is never simple.